Hey, what's up? Welcome to the episode of Project Red. But today we're not really talking about the car. We're gonna take a break for a little bit. I've been working pretty hard on it, but today I'm trying to maybe this will help a lot of the car guys out there too. It's getting cold. It's wintertime. We got the jackets out. A lot of these garages are not insulated. Like this, it's not insulated. Actually, the whole entire garage, not just the garage door, but the entire garage is not insulated. So when it's 25 degrees outside, it's 25 degrees in here. So there's a couple ways we can remedy that. One is, well, there's two things you have to do or should do. You should insulate your garage, and you have to provide a heater source, right? So, but for most people, I think you could do one and get away with it. So I was thinking about insulating the doors, because that's the simplest way to do it. But when you do that, the drawback to that is when you insulate the doors, you're isolating yourself away from the environment. But that doesn't mean your environment is actually going to increase or decrease in temperature, right? So what I mean by that is, if you insulate the doors, it might be 20 outside, but it might be 35 in here, and it ain't gonna get anywhere above 35. So plan B is get a heater, skip out on the insulation. You might get 45, but you're gonna suffer in the world of bills, because you're gonna run it the whole day instead of running it for maybe half a day and reaping the benefits of warm air. So, but my budget's pretty low. My budget was only about $300. So I didn't want to go any higher than that. So I opted for Plan B. Plan B is to get a heater. So when you're trying to get a heater, you gotta look at the problems or potential problems along the way. Maybe there's installation costs. You gotta look at your specific situation. But let me start with this. This is Oklahoma. Today is 29 degrees. My heater's on, and it's about 55 right now. By feel, okay? I don't have a thermometer or nothing like that. So just go based off what I'm telling you. And it's about a 700 square foot garage. It's a 2-car garage, cement floor. Take a look. That's what you got. Okay? Very, very, I would say, typical house garage. It's not a workshop. It's not, nothing fancy like that, right? It's just a basic garage. And for us car guys, we want to work on our cars. It's a great time. Wintertime is probably the best time to work in your garage. Work in your garage, because there's no the outdoor activities have pretty much come to a standstill. And we, due to daylight savings times, after work it's dark, so you don't get a chance to go do anything. So you get those hours back. Monday through Friday, you get a good 20 hours if you think about it, to come out here and do something, work on the car. So that's what I've been doing. But without my heater, I wouldn't have done it. All right. So that's where the heater comes in, and the heater allows you to come out here. It's not warm, but it's warm enough. That's where we want to get to. We just want to be good enough to do the job. So before buying it, I've had it for about almost a month now. This is mid-December 2018 by the time this video comes out. And we're not at the coldest point in the winter, but at the same time, it's not going to get much more colder than 29 here. I think 29, 30 is about our average winter temps. So I'm testing today. I've had it running for this is going about an hour now on the maximum setting. And like I said, it's about probably 55 in the garage. It's still about 30 outside. So give or take, it's pretty good. Like, you can probably come out here with a real light sweater and you'll be okay. I don't know if it's t-shirt conditions, but yeah, it's definitely not t-shirt conditions. Light sweater, you could even do a long sleeve shirt. Okay, that's how warm it is right now. And let me just step back two steps and say there's a lot of options when it comes to warming up a 700 square foot garage. But the prices, they fluctuate real bad. So when I was looking for something, there wasn't a lot of stuff out there that kind of, especially not on YouTube, that kind of tells you, the decision making process, what's going on, and things like that. So I'm gonna step you through my decision process, and if you have similar things to my process, then it'll be a perfect match for you too. I've seen people run 2 of these. I'm only running 1. I mean, if you want to get to t-shirts and shorts conditions, you run 2 and it'll get you there, okay? But I only have 1. My budget was $300. I wasn't gonna buy 2 of these and put it in. Okay, so anyways, the decision process. You have a lot of options. There's the propane option, which at first I was gonna get. I was like, damn, propane is the way to go. There's a space heater option, which is the 120 version of this. 100. When I say 120, 240, I'm talking about the electrical outlets. Put it that way for the guys that don't know electrical wiring on a house. So there's space heaters, the little ones that can heat like a 10-foot area, and then there's these guys, the next step up. Okay, so next step is 240. Basically, in the electrical world, you take 120, you double it, it's 240. So this is on 240 circuit. 240 is like your dryer or your oven. You know, those big prongs. That's what I'm talking about. So that's on. This is on 240. Is what I've gone with, but I decided not to go with the propane stuff because the propane burns oxygen, and the propane stuff you need proper ventilation. If you don't, it's basically you're just gonna suffocate yourself in your garage, and that's really bad. I've had a lot of horror stories in my community where people are burning propane stoves in a closed environment and they pass away. So I've heard a lot of those stories. And I'm just gonna avoid that at all costs because the garage is not ventilated. Period. Okay. I mean, there's like cracks in the walls and doors, but it's nowhere near where it should be. Well, some people say, why don't you just leave the garage open like a quarter foot or something on the bottom? Well, that defeats the whole purpose, so of heating up the garage. So unless if you want to start it off on the propane and then just turn it off, I don't know, something like that. I wasn't even gonna mess with it. So for me, I already had 240 going to my welder. I put that in a long time ago. So for me, actually, let me step back. The 120 option for the space heaters, we tried that too. Like I said, my brother one time he put like 4 space heaters out here, left it off for like 2-3 hours, and it never got it to the point where you could come out here and work on stuff. I mean, that's like 1 or 2 hours after you power them on. You could have already done a lot of work in 1 or 2 hours, so it wasn't going to be another option for me. Plus, I don't have that many outlets anymore, so not really a cool option. The only other option was either we go infrared or we go the 240 electrical heaters. So that's what I opted for, 240, and ended up trying to just stay within that category is the supercharged hair dryers. Basically, that's what basically these things are. It's a glorified supercharged hair dryer. Pulls a lot of power and just blows hot air. But there's no fumes, nothing like that. Nothing for you to choke on, suffocate on. Now the flip side is it is gonna be more involved. Meaning the propane stuff you buy, it's basically a complete package. You hook up a propane tank to it, you fire right up, right? On the electrical ones, you have to wire them, and 240 requires you to have an electrician come to your house and do it, or you'll have to do it yourself. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there. Go look at them if you know what I'm talking about. But 240 is dangerous, so just keep in mind you could kill yourself if you don't touch the right things or don't flip the right switches. So reference that real good. If you're not good with it, get a certified electrician to come out and do it. But I'm pretty good with it. I do have some electrical background. So at one time I already ran a 240 breaker at 30 amps to my welder. So for me to run it from the welder plug to this plug, it ain't that hard. So a lot of people even say you need a hard line coming right off the breaker box. You don't absolutely need it. It is recommended. But what I did was I ran 10 gauge wire and I had ran 30 feet of it off my plug, and it's basically coiled up right now, and it's coiled up on the ground, and I have my heater sitting on a metal chair. It's gotta be a metal chair. Don't use a wooden chair or a plastic chair. Potentially cause fires. Okay, so but at the same time, see, I was thinking like if it's like a hairdryer, it's gonna be super hot, right? But no, it's not. I'll show you what I got. This is the Profusion Heat and Air. This is the Northern Tool Special. The controls, we have power, that's overheat. That's temperature settings, 3,000, 5,000 switch. I think that switch is basically switching from 1 or 2 legs of power. Legs as in, if you're electrical savvy, you'll know either 120 or 240. That's what I think it does. It comes with a little hanger, which will bolt up to this knob, and I guess it adjusts on that. Yeah, because it moves around. And then basically what it does is it just draws air from the back, shoots through the front with a little fan, and your heating elements are right here, right in here. Paint overall is fair. The only thing I do have as a gripe would probably be these fins. They did come out of the box kind of bent, but you know, for the price, whatever, you know. So basically, okay, check this out. So there's my cord. I still need to strain relief that spot, but I haven't moved it in like a month. There's my cord. It just kind of coiled up on the ground, and then it goes up over to my welding plug behind the plastic over there. But the review on it is I like it. It's not the best solution out there, but it's the best solution for $300. So price. The price on the Profusion is $150. There's 2 models. There's a lower model and a higher model. I bought the higher end model, or the higher wattage model. At Northern Tools, I went to the store, they had it. And don't get me wrong, I tried to support the American companies too, okay? Because there was one heater that was actually a portable heater. It was designed as a portable heater, and I wanted that one. It was like $350, and I was willing to go over my budget to go get it. But it was sold through Home Depot. It was like a little red one. And when I got there, they didn't have it in stock. They also had 2 models. They had the lower model and the higher model. I wanted the higher model, didn't have it. I did a search online for anything within 100 miles. I could go and drive and get it. Nothing available within 100 miles. Home Depot was going to ship it to my house in the next 3 weeks. I was just kind of like, nah, I need something quick. You know, I can't do 3 weeks. So did a search again. Came home. You know, a little disappointed. Came home. Did another search for another option, and I found the Profusion, and it's designed to be mounted on the ceiling, but I have the seating on a metal chair because I needed it to be mobile. Okay, so that's one thing that a lot of people don't talk about is these things. If you rig them right, you can make them mobile. They're not pretty. Don't get me wrong, but you can make it mobile, and that's what I needed. Like for example, right now it's all full blast, but I think it's reached its maximum temperature it can get to, but it's still not warm enough to be on the other end of the garage, because when you're in the direct, you know, feed of the hot air, it's great. So what I would like to do is say I'm working interior today. Say if I was, I'm not actually doing it, but say if I was, I want that to be shooting air into the car, so I'll be at the warmest spot, right? Feels the most comfortable. So by having it with a 30-foot cord, you can move it around. 30 foot can reach any spot in this garage, and I'm happy. Okay, that's what I wanted. That's what I built basically. So we'll run down the price. It was $150. It was on sale, $89.99. Got that. Then came back to Lowe's, bought the cable and the plugs and the connectors and all that stuff. That was another $75. I think it was like $2 a foot, right? So times 2, 60 connector. The plug was like $15, I think. You know, it was a bunch of little random stuff. So you're looking right back up to around 150 for the whole thing. So pretty happy with it. No, I don't know if that was. I thought I heard a little squeaking mouse or something, but yeah, still could be. But anyways, I'm pretty happy with it. For the price, I was under the budget, around 200. Yeah, so for about 150, under 200, I'm pretty happy. Insulating the doors, I have another option for that. I could go that, the route where we put in the it's like foam and stuff. I could always do that, but at the moment, it's not that cold to be doing that. I think the northern guys, I saw a couple of videos of the guys in like Wisconsin and New Jersey. They did that too, and it seems to be helping them. So if it gets that bad, I'll do that too. But currently, like I said, it's only like 29, 30, so I'm doing pretty good. It's not 75-degree weather, but it's good enough to the point where with a light jacket, you can comfortably work, and it doesn't feel like your knuckles are gonna snap on you, if you know what I mean. And it doesn't feel like your cheeks are frozen. The cheeks feel good today. So that's the Profusion. That's what I picked. I know I didn't do a real good review on it, but there's a bunch of other videos out there that have real good, like in-depth reviews on what the unit looks like and things like that. This video is more just like my decisions behind it and why I chose it, basically. And it works for me.